We don't just start it, we on the rise. From 9 to 5 to sovereign skies. Building steady, building strong. Money working all night long. This is wealth done right. Wealth done right. On the rise. On the rise.
Today, I want to talk about something that may sound technical on the surface, but it's actually about something much deeper: infrastructure. And before we go any further, let me ground this clearly. On Wealth Done Right, I don't give financial advice. My role is not to tell you what to buy. My role is to help you to recognize when the foundation beneath wealth is shifting so that you can make an educated decision with your advisors. Because becoming retirement optional isn't about reacting, it's about awareness. For over a decade, I quietly watched the evolution of digital assets. Back in 2012, when my oldest son was taking classes at MIT, Bitcoin clubs were forming on campus. They were at all the Ivy League schools. Nobody really knew anything about it. This wasn't mainstream. It wasn't polished. Opening a wallet felt like writing code. It seriously felt like solving algorithms. It required patience and technical confidence. So in 2013, I took a Bitcoin course myself because I wanted to look into it and not speculate, but I wanted to understand what was being built. No one really understood what Bitcoin was at the time. And because it was so new, I just wanted to get a better understanding. Then Ethereum emerged several years later, about 2015, and my son launched the first Ethereum meetup in our city. That was new for everyone. Bitcoin was still new. Ethereum was fresh. It was just being birthed. And what struck me wasn't the price movement. It was the infrastructure, decentralized systems, smart contracts, new financial rails being constructed beneath the surface. For years, this space existed, and disciplined wealth builders don't love ambiguity. Ambiguity increases risk. It limits institutional participation, and it keeps serious capital cautious. Which brings us to something called the Clarity Act. If you've been watching the news lately, that's all you've been hearing lately is the Clarity Act. Now, this is not about whether you should invest in crypto. This is about what happens when governments begin defining regulatory frameworks around something that started as fringe technology. When regulation enters a market, it's not the end of innovation. It's the beginning of accountability. And accountability is one of the signals of maturing of an ideology, or in this case, digital assets. Speculation chases price. Wealth builders watch infrastructure. When policymakers attempt to define digital assets clearly, what is a security? What is a commodity? Who regulates what? They're acknowledging something important, that this technology is not disappearing. It is moving from experiment toward structure. Now, that does not mean allocation. It does not mean urgency. It does not mean exposure. It means awareness. Retirement optional isn't built on income alone. It's built on durable systems, assets supported by foundations that are likely to endure. And real assets evolve as financial systems evolve. For decades, women were late to certain asset classes, not because they lacked intelligence, but because the signals of legitimacy arrived late. We don't wait for headlines. We watch for durability. The Clarity Act is not a directive. It is a signal moment. A signal that digital assets may be entering a phase of definition rather than ambiguity. The disciplined woman who wants optionality pays attention to signals, not to react. That's not what I'm saying at all. That's not what I'm saying here. I'm not saying to react, but to understand where the ground beneath wealth may be shifting. Because optionality belongs to the prepared. And preparation begins with awareness.
We don't just start it, we on the rise. From 9 to 5. working all night long. This is wealth